Forget the harmless, chubby babies with tiny wings found on greeting cards. The historical texts describe angels as highly intelligent, heavily armed cosmic warriors. When the prophet Isaiah saw them, their voices were so loud they physically shook the very pillars of the temple. For centuries, their job description was clear: protect the Creator's people. They stepped into a den to shut the mouths of hungry lions for Daniel, and they walked straight into a maximum security Roman prison to break the Apostle Peter out of his chains. The test of their discipline took place here, among the ancient olive trees in the Garden of Gethsemane. A mob of soldiers and temple guards arrived to arrest Jesus. The Creator of the universe was being directly threatened by his own creations. As the Apostle Peter drew his sword to fight back, Jesus stopped him. He stated clearly that if he wanted to, he could immediately call down 12 legions of angels. Look at this scale comparison. This small cluster represents the armed men who came to arrest him. A single Roman legion consisted of about 6,000 troops. 12 legions equals over 70,000 angelic soldiers. The sky was fully loaded, waiting for a single word to obliterate the threat. But the order never came. The skies remained completely silent. Heaven's military force was told to stand down and watch the execution of their king. The physical toll of what Jesus was about to endure began before anyone touched him. This biological cross-section illustrates a rare medical condition called hematidrosis. Under extreme psychological stress, the tiny blood vessels in the skin burst, rupturing into the sweat glands. Jesus was literally sweating drops of blood into the dirt. It was here that heaven permitted a single exception to the stand-down order. One angel was dispatched to the garden, but the orders were strictly limited: provide physical and mental endurance. Do not engage the enemy. Do not stage a rescue. The beings who had spent eternity worshiping an all-powerful God now found themselves holding him up. They were injecting strength into the Creator, entirely so he could survive long enough to be tortured to death. When the Roman trials ended, the scourging began. Roman whips were laced with bone and metal, designed to strip flesh from bone. The entire angelic host watched every strike, entirely capable of stopping the metal from hitting the skin, yet forced by obedience to do absolutely nothing. The torture moved from the courtyard to the public streets. Jesus carried his own execution device down the stone path we now know as the Via Dolorosa. As he stumbled under the weight of the wood, the religious leaders and the crowds mocked him, yelling, "He saved others, let him save himself." The angels knew exactly how fast a rescue could happen. One word and the Roman Empire would be erased, yet he chose to stay completely silent. To use his divine authority to step off the path meant the entire mission to save humanity would instantly collapse. He refused to save himself because he was saving us. They reached Golgotha, the place of the skull. Here, Roman soldiers drove iron spikes into his wrists and feet, nailing the Creator to a tree he had spoken into existence. At exactly noon, the sun completely vanished. Solar eclipses are impossible during a Passover full moon, leaving only the reality of a supernatural spiritual severing. As Jesus absorbed the weight of human sin, the Father turned his face away. Nearing the end, Jesus spoke his final word, tetelestai. As shown stamped across this ancient accounting ledger, tetelestai was a specific financial term used in the 1st century. It means the debt is paid in full. The thick veil in the Jewish temple suddenly tore completely in half, ripping violently from top to bottom. The physical death on the cross was the moment the debt was settled and the barrier between God and humanity was dismantled. The universe entered the strangest, heaviest silence in its history. The body of the Creator lay cold and motionless inside a tomb hewn from rock. Throughout Holy Saturday, the angelic armies remained in their holding pattern, waiting. Outside the tomb, elite Roman guards took their positions. They rolled a massive stone over the entrance and sealed it with official wax. It was a display of human arrogance, the belief that some dirt, stone, and wax could successfully quarantine the author of life. It was perhaps the quietest and heaviest day in heaven. The angels who always sang praises were now completely silent, just waiting. Early Sunday morning, before the sun came up, the silence broke. The stand-down order expired. A single angel descended with such sheer kinetic force that it triggered an earthquake, and the highly trained Roman guards instantly fainted from the terror of seeing him. The angel grabbed the massive stone and effortlessly threw it aside. He didn't move it to let Jesus out. By the time the angel arrived, the Holy Spirit had already resurrected him. The rock was moved so humanity could look inside and see the tomb was completely empty. When the women arrived at the burial site, the angel's role radically shifted again. The silent, restrained warriors were given a new job description. They became the first vocal evangelists in human history, delivering a simple message: He is not here, He is risen. The angels spent 72 hours watching an execution they could have ended with a word. They discovered that sovereign power reaches its highest expression in the restraint required to sacrifice oneself for those who hate you.